TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. Oh. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. But I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so
Okay,
I can come
okay,
over.
come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome, you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station, home to the Asian Oprah, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness, so there's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So if you have missed any of my past 1,000, I think we're on 61 or 2 shows, these 602 consecutive weeks, then please do go free subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find them so you can watch and listen. Now, if you're driving and you're on the AM FM, please do not comment in the chat, but we're so fortunate to have technology support the streaming that we have a cashew gallery. And welcome everyone. Karen Stuth, she was the editor of my 8 Ways to Happiness and a wonderful publisher who publishes Katherine Skaggs books, and Katherine is a repeat guest of mine. I'm going to give a little formal introduction, and I'm just so delighted that we have Troy in the Cashew Gallery as well, and hopefully this is getting hooked into the KCAA side right now. I know that we are live, Facebook, LinkedIn, and my YouTube TV channel. So I do want to give you a little information about Katherine Skaggs. She's an intuitive, visionary artist, spiritual teacher, shamanic practitioner, and painter of souls. And today she is painting my soul portrait. I am so excited because, I love doing new things. And so I'm just so delighted. Please welcome back to my studio. She's just a delightful person. I had her on, I don't know how many years ago, but it was a very fun time. Welcome back, Katherine.
Oops.
Yay!
I'm looking forward to
there
doing
you
your
are.
soul portrait today. We're going to bring in your soul essence on this live time together. So are you ready to go for it?
I am. And those of you who, know the drill with the gratitude sandwich, because it takes 50 minutes, we're going to skip breakfast this morning, but you're welcome to do it in the chat. Troy, you know what the drill is. Maybe you can facilitate that. 8 things you're grateful for, 8 things you appreciate about yourself. And that way we'll have breakfast in the chat. But we're just going to get started. And Katherine's going to talk or she's going to guide this process. I don't know what's going on. You guys get to be voyeurs, but it was interesting getting dressed and ready to have your soul portrait done is one of those. I wonder what I should wear. Well, actually, that doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to be tuning in and tapping into your beautiful soul self and not just your physical self. So one of the things over the years I found, Dr. Marissa, is what are your intentions for yourself right now? What kind of energy do you want to connect to? Guidance, love for yourself, healing. Because as you began to connect to your heart space, I began to sense the energy, and it translates into color, symbol, and story. And I'll do my best to articulate that besides through the art, but also any guidances that come through that's okay to share on this beautiful show that you have. So what would you like to intend, because I know you know all about intentions, to draw in that beauty, because my experience is that you're this multidimensional big soul self, and it's like a big diamond with many facets. And as you focus your intention for what you most desire to connect to in yourself in your life right now, that energy begins to flood in for me to express and to reflect to you.
So you want me to articulate what my intentions are for the rest of my time on the planet, or
just this moment in time right now? I mean, you want to call in healing, greater connectivity? I mean, you're very connected. Wealth, joy, bliss, anything in particular? Is there anything that, like, on a soul level, you go, I'm kind of curious what else my soul wants to bring in? And I'm just going to start bringing in energy through color and paint and any guidance that wants to come in. But yeah, just what's on your heart right now that you'd like to call in for yourself.
Perfect. Well, I like the last three you just said: wealth, joy, and bliss. Wealth, prosperity, abundance of good things.
Yeah, really.
Not necessarily, plus sizes in clothes. I love I have an addiction to joy. For me, the feeling of exhilaration and joy, I think that's why I love playing games, because anticipating the win, I love winning. I love that feeling of winning, not at other people's expense necessarily, although that is, action reaction. But I just love that anticipatory hope feeling, like anything's possible. My theme this year has been #Go Up UP, unlimited possibilities. I love bliss. Is such a beautiful word that blissipline. I stole from my big brother Michael Bernard Beckwith, who I believe coined that term, although, I use his and he uses mine. And I just, creativity, that's like an effervescence. Neil Donald Walsh said that one word that best describes me is enthusiasm. Just honestly, like, more of this. I get bored easily, so more of the same is not an expression that I necessarily use a lot. But honestly, I have been so doggone grateful lately. I'm happy. Like, I call myself naturally high. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to, make MSU University making shiitake up. I get into this place where it just feels good to be alive. It feels good to like squirrel. Like, what's happening? What's going on? What's going on? What's gonna be there? I'm really curious now. I'm looking at there. She's got the unbalanced hair, which is kind of cool.
You're back.
So yeah. And so as you're doing this, like, how much of this is influenced by my what I'm saying, or how much is it by the energy, or how much is it by the actual words? Like, how am I connecting with you? Because I'm so curious, and I just love new things and kind of want to understand the process, but I don't want to get in the way of you doing what you're doing, though. So
no, great question. I somehow know how to walk and chew gum, kind of like I know how to paint and channel at the same time. Don't ask me how I got it. Well, I can kind of tell you, but my experience in doing this for many years now, Marissa, I've probably done 3,000 soul portraits by now. And since I began doing this, and what I've found is that, like, when I ask for you to do your intention, the whole guidance is to connect to your heart. What's your joy? What's your happiness? What's your desire? Sometimes people come in, need healing. They're a little more intense. You're very high frequency joy already. And so that frequency, that energy, that vibration begins to communicate to me. People go, well, do you see my aura? And I'm like, well, I can, and I have. However, this is so much more multidimensional than your auric field. This is about connecting to your soul's frequency, your soul's essence, and it translates into color, it translates into symbol, it translates into a conversation about whatever you need to feel, sense, hear, see. And it's like you're the spiritual warrior of joy. You're the spiritual warrior to bring peace through joy, through light, through hope, through possibility, through understanding. No matter how hard life is on earth, you're a bright light. And you know that we all go through ups, downs, and in betweens. And your focus is overcoming and bringing light into the challenges and the darkness. That's very clear. I could understand that by reading about you, but this is about feeling it and sensing it, and translating it into words and color. And I get too that you will go beyond this time frame, that as this begins to come in, you've been a spiritual warrior of sorts many times, in many different bodies, in many lifetimes. And this wants to express as to the word dedication. That word comes in. So yes, it's your words, it's your energy, but it's your essence that's doing its best for me to catch that beauty and light of who you are, to see beyond just the human, and to bring an expression of your divinity even through your human form and through the colors that come on. It's like not everybody shows up with, like, say, colors that are like skin colors. This is more like energy, and it can bring through many other expressions. But does that make sense so far?
Yes, absolutely. You're getting some love in the chat. Flower Child 11, beautiful. Love Katherine Skaggs. So you've got your fan club in the chat right now. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what the heck is going in the studio today, I'm so delighted to have one of my past guests here on live in studio with me today. And she is currently creating from scratch a soul portrait of yours truly. And I'm so fortunate. Honest to goodness, my life is just a collection of ever delighting, ever expanding, ever wonderfuling, making up words again, a collection of activities that I never expected this. It came out of a situation that wasn't planned for, and that is life. And my life is, I'm a poster child for when shift happens and things that you really thought were going to happen, or really wanted to have happen, or thought you knew what the best thing was to happen. My life is a series of that wasn't supposed to happen now, but look at this. This is way beyond what I could have ever envisioned for my life. And people say all the time, what do you want to do next? Or, what's next? Or when are you going to write your next book? Right, Karen? What is next? What is next? And honest to goodness, that level of, oh, I really want this to happen, or, oh, I wish this would happen, or, oh, when is this going to happen? One of the biggest blessings of my life is resting and falling back into the knowledge and the BS and the belief system and the truth and the knowing that everything happens for my and your and the world and the planets and humankind's divine and best good. And I just got like a shot of electrical energy in my fingers, in my chakras. That is the truth that that I get to hold in my body, in my mind, in my presence, in my work. It's really not work. That's my job. That I hold that. What is that word I'm looking for? The in the oath, the in the undeniable truth. The what is that word? In the infatigable word. In the never changing, everlasting, infinitely, that truth. I'm so fortunate to hook into, to be plugged into, to have that connection of a friendly universe where I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, I just know, even when I don't know, like even when my humanist doesn't know everything's gonna be okay, like my soul knows everything's gonna be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And that I have the privilege of holding people in that truth and hugging them and speaking to them and representing that. I mean, come on, folks. In my wildest dreams, did I believe or know that coming from so much pain as a child, coming from so much contrast, coming from so much, someone gave a nice compliment this morning to my 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are, that I am back on tour next week. I'll be in Berkeley doing a book signing at Fern's Garden, where it all began. I did my book launch there. So excited. But who would have known that the pain that one goes through, that purifying pain, it's not that I am out there talking about trauma to feel sorry for me, to blame my mom, to it's so much bigger than that. And I don't think I got that connection until probably probably through COVID, is that one of the things that I get to broadcast, literally, is the BS, the belief system that we've grown up with, that somehow pain is to be avoided, that somehow if you've had pain in your life, there's something wrong with you, you're being punished, that somehow pain in life is avoidable, that somehow, there's something wrong with you if you've had childhood trauma. There's something wrong with you if murder happens. There's something wrong with you if someone in your family commits suicide. There's something wrong with you if tragedy hits. There's something wrong with you if your child dies. There's something wrong with you if you are depressed. There's something wrong with you if you've had pain. And my biggest BS belief system understanding that I hold, that I accept, that I know that is part of my work, is to change and, Gordon the guided missile. You correct that. God, I had no idea I'd be talking this much during this time that I'm done my soul portrait done. But it is my work to course correct this message that makes us think there's something wrong with us. But, and it's, no thanks to fairy tales, no thanks to an economy or people who want you to work for them and their dreams, or, the status quo, or materialism. Somehow we've gotten completely sidetracked as to the meaning of life, completely sidetracked as to what we're here on earth to do, completely sidetracked into this, common BS belief system that we're born, do well in school. We're supposed to be born in a normal family. We're supposed to be loved in a healthy family. We're supposed to not have anything crappy happen to you. We're supposed to, go to the best schools, get a degree, get a promotion, buy toys to show off, and then leave it to our squabbling relatives and work really hard, and then in later life retire when your body may not even want to go on the trip anymore. But that is such a pervasive. That's what life is about. Come on, folks. That is like, because I prescribed to that BS, and look where it got me. I was broke from a very expensive divorce, the price of my freedom. I was angry and bitter and resentful at how I was raised. I was, shut down and full of shame and blame, and this was 14 years ago. Not that long, 15 years ago, not that long ago. So that is the product, and no wonder people like Matthew Perry, Robin Williams, Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, they followed the prescription to a happy life. They got their notoriety, they got their money, they got abundance and wealth, and were they happy? No. And so, this is a big, giant forking reset, folks. It's time to stop looking outside of yourself for what is meaningful. And let's just talk for a second to the spiritual people out there who believe that their life is about providing service. I think this is another BS that I'm supposed to call on the carpet. Service is beautiful. I love when I have people tell me, "Thank you so much," and you changed my life. And hey, it's a nice thing to hear. But honest to goodness, if I live my life to try to make you happy, and that's why I do this show and why I write, or why, I'd be miserable, because I'm constantly then looking for, did you like it? Do you like me? Do you like what I said? Any criticism is going to derail me. That is also not exactly happiness making, right? So spirituality for me has been I'm hooking into what my birthright is. And my birthright is joy and happiness and peace and love and harmony and bliss and creativity. And creativity comes from contrast, or innovation comes from a problem, right? So I want to experience all of life, the good, bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And if I can change my perception of what is life for, it is for me to fully engage in the wonder of being human, the wonder of being multidimensional. Taste, touch, sound, sight, intuition, sixth sense, seventh sense, eighth sense, all the ways in which I am alive. And that is why I am here. Then life is a joyride. Then I am less discombobulated. I have not used that word in so long. So you're definitely raising out. Thank you for that, heart. You're definitely raising in me. Like, this is an energy exchange. I had no idea. So I thought I knew I was getting a soul portrait, folks. If you're wondering what's going on, I had no idea that this would be an energy exchange. I thought I would sit here, try to look pretty and quiet, and you would be drawing my soul, right? Lord knows I don't know what my soul looks like. I definitely hope that it is not as fat as I feel. No, I'm kidding. I just introduced some negativity. But in an effort to be self-deprecating. I am so delighted to welcome you to studio today. If you're wondering what's going on, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. It is on AM 1050, FM 106.5. If you are listening, you're not able right now to watch. Please don't try to watch while you're driving. But when you get to where you're getting, go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, or go to Rumble. You get to watch and listen to this incredible experience that I get to participate in because I am a fortunate child of a friendly universe. And Katherine Skaggs, who is an intuitive artist. She's a shaman. She's a best-selling on so many, like, I can't keep up with the awards. I love that newest picture of your book that I have. It's a beautiful book, beautiful, wonderful illustrations. She has so many awards, like they're off of the book now, which is like hilarious to me. If you missed my first interview with her, please go free subscribe on my YouTube channel. It's a great interview. And just to not a spoiler, but I asked her, did you know that you would be doing something like this when you were young? And I remember the answer being heck no, or something close to that. And something to do with a blonde woman, white shaman. Yeah, right. So
I've
that
got a
was
book I want to write, Melissa, called White Girl in the Jungle. I'm like, we'll see if we can get that one done.
White Girl in the Jungle?
Yes, I've been down there like 8 times to study with shamans. So, you never know where you're headed when you follow your heart.
No truer words. We're getting some nice chat here. Troy saying, I have a nice heart. Thank you. Flower Child, beautiful reminder. Life is happening for us, not to us. Yes. In my heart is my music, and your voice is the instrument by which that music is released into the world. Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. Very creative, Troy. It reminds me of a Rumi, one of my favorite Rumi quotes, and please do not let me butcher this, but my life is the opening in the flute with which God or the universe breathes music through. Something like that. Isn't that beautiful? Like it is. Yes. It was. I literally had like a little out of body experience the first time I read that. And I've looked for it. I can't really find it again. So if you find that, please put that in the chat. There's a beautiful quote. I also would like to, I lost the thought. When you're doing a soul portrait, are you swayed? Like, can you tell when someone is in a place of, I guess I call it the imposter syndrome. So for some reason, that particular thing has been coming up a lot. I get to do, I'm a PhD in organizational psychology by education. So one of the great things that I get to do on the side, there's no side, but is consult. And I have a model called the Balanced Learning Organization, and I do coaching with executives and leaders. And one of the most common things that comes up with high achieving oriented people is this imposter syndrome. It's not just people in corporations. I mean, it seems like a lot of people who grow up maybe with the BS belief system that I have to be, I have to look like I got it together. I have to be put together. I can't let people know that I don't have it all together. I know that for me personally, when people would say, oh my God, Dr. Marissa, there's anything you don't do, and blah, blah, blah. And I would smile and I'd say, cooking, cleaning, I don't do those, ironing. and I would appreciate the compliment. And then when I was by myself quiet, usually with something to numb me, I would face my innermost insecurity and say, wow, I'm really not all that. And I have to do everything that I can to hide that part of me. I have to do everything that I can to make sure I don't get discovered as a fake, as an imposter. And when you're painting soul portraits, can you feel that in people? Does that come out in how you're receiving that energy?
With my focus, when my guidance came through for this and my directive I prayed to ask how my art and my spirituality came together, and this download came in about a year later. And I knew it was about showing someone, expressing the vibration, the visual, the energy of the divinity and the greatness of someone. So when we've got that BS, that imposter syndrome, our ego, I'll call it our lower ego, whatever, because we need some ego to be in this world, inner personality. But like our human personality, our lesser than, our divided self, our part of ourselves that has some fear still left, or trauma, or something that got beat down in this or another time period. And so that comes up to be healed if I feel, sense, see that. And that the one of the things that I feel, sense, know is that love is the greatest vibration that there is that can overcome any of these lesser than feelings. When I was writing my book and publishing it, as much as that became a bestseller, I was going through some personal challenges with health and some other things. I felt like an imposter. I thought, who am I to write a book on this? Who am I to do this? And and so it's like, that's not who we are, is the best thing. That is not who we are. That is a wound. That is an energy imprint. That is something that keeps us from being all that we truly are, as divine. And so the soul portrait process, as I've experienced it so far and understood it before I even started, is that it's a healing salve to reveal to someone, to take up, to move out, displace the energies of lesser than. That when we compare ourselves, that imposter piece, is that if that arises, and I'm sensing that the greater thing that happens here is that it's all about what you truly are, because you're not that. As much as you may feel it, sense it, think that that is you, because that's when we get into the illusion of this reality and the division of duality in this world, is one way I'd say it, is that the greater purpose of a soul portrait is to bring someone home to themselves, to reclaim or to retrieve their soul self into the beauty and love and truth of who they are. So yes, that can come up. I remember doing a portrait at a fair. I don't do fairs anymore. It was many years ago, and a woman had bought this girl a portrait, and this girl was a teenager. She is in a special high school here in Fort Collins for kids who are challenged, and she was she was semi-autistic. She had socially, it was very difficult for her. And so she sat there very sullen in the soul portrait. And when I turned, it was a short one. I used to do these minis, and I turned it around and she looked at it and she's like, that's me. That's so beautiful though. How could that be me? And so that's the beauty of this energy of what happens here, because I'm so glad you mentioned that you're feeling, sensing the energy and having an engagement in that, because that is so much about what this is. Even though you've got a third thing here, you've got something visual coming out of it, you've got a story in here, you've got an energetic in here, is that ultimately, even if someone's not real sensitive like you are, it's penetrating their energy field, their consciousness, and moving into a place to help them remember who they are as beautiful, whole, and complete into themselves, divine as their origins, that they have that God spark, that divine spark within them, and that they are not the lesser than horrible stuff of humanity that we're challenged with, that actually it can be a very healing salve for them to come home. So this is a portal for you to have once I mail this to you, or work with the imagery, is that it's literally a doorway to your essence. So I encourage people to meditate, to gaze at the portraits for 10 minutes at a time, or before you go into a deep meditation, to move inward and to remember all of yourself beyond just this human self. Yes, I use your face, your pictures as a representation here, but you've got all these other colors and different energies. I'm going to kind of bring it in a little closer so you can see it, even though I'm still finishing it. So you can see that there's a lot happening in here. There's different symbols and energies. You've been feeling and sensing it. But this is to come home to the beauty of one who's a wise one, the beauty of one who's divine and has so much to give. And in that giving, you receive, and that beauty of sharing your story and your journey, you remind us all that we are coming home through many different experiences to find the beauty and the light, and that I'm being guided to say that you are a brand name, Dr. Marissa Pay, for the divine, and that you are a vessel for the divine, that you, through your own human journey and being out in the public, you're a vessel to remind all of us that we go through difficult things, and yet look at what we can get out of it, the alchemy, the beauty, the light. And that as each of us grab onto that and catch it, the world changes by being right here, right now. So there's so much love and beauty and gratitude for you, Dr. Marissa, in what wants to be expressed here, and for you to really receive as much as you give. What incredible love is here for you. What incredible, incredible love is here for all of us. And that, thank you for allowing me to come on to be with you, and so many you bring to remind us that love is the true reality beyond all the challenges, and that we're here to help each other by, thank you for saying all that you did in coming into this, because I've dealt with depression most of my life. And it was, to be a spiritual teacher was to be shamed if I can't have my, excuse my language, my shit together all the time. And it's like, you know what? That authenticity is perhaps the greatest gift we can give each other, to know that life is like this. And that we're always, if we can have a little more love, and a little more love that we can share with one another, it is a lot easier to know that maybe I can do that too. That maybe I can lift up and come to the greater part of myself, and that I don't need to be stuck in those lower energies. And I want to say to you and everyone, and to myself, is those fear, fright, trauma, that's not who we are. That's something we're going through. And that as we go through it, if someone is a light in our lives, it can reflect the light within us to get stronger and brighter. And that as we shine, that's the gift that we give one another, is to just be amazingly ourselves. So thank you for being the joy juice mama.
The joy juice mama? My new nickname, Joy Juice Mama. I love it. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in studio, I have a delightful guest today painting my soul portrait. Her name is Katherine Skaggs. This is a great gift idea for the person who has everything. Katherine can be contacted at katherineskaggs.com, and you can do this kind of thing for someone you love. I believe that it takes like 50 minutes, not long. Thank you so much for all of the hearts that are coming up on the stream. A lot of people giving me the finger, not that one, this one. And it's just delightful being part of this process. I am actually going through some healing myself right now, as you are. I didn't expect this. The heaviness, literally, the theme of fat, ugly, the theme of obese, the theme of you're not all that, the theme of who do you think you are, the shame in embracing all that I am is settling out. I am setting that. I don't even think I need to set that intention. I think it's time. I think it's time for me to let go of being a model body again. Time to let go of, wanting to be seen as sexy and hot mama. It's time to let go of not deserving pleasure, being overly self-conscious about the way I look or my body. It's time to relax into the imperfection, the imperfectly perfect body that I have. I'm just gonna sit with that for a second, because it doesn't serve me, and that's not who I am. And it is a remnant. It's a remnant. I call them like heavy surfboards that I needed when there was a lot of white water around, but there's no water anymore, and I'm still carrying that heavy board, and it is keeping me from connecting on an intimate level to people, to men out there. I don't know. I don't want to leave out women. I think that I am. What's the word? I don't think I am bisexual, but hey, you never know, right? I'll try everything once. Oh boy, did I just say that on here? Anyways. All right. Let's see. This is one of those chat things that Orville Nation keeps telling me. You don't have to put every chat on the stream. But I am so delighted to be part of this. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. When you just showed me the photo and you turned it to me, and I looked at it, and I was ready to be critical. I was ready. That's that old stuff, Does it really look like me? Does it look beautiful? Do I want it to look like that? Is that really representative? I want it to be as beautiful as her other illustrations that I've seen. Like, how am I going to compare? That's an old habitual bull shiitake, frame that I would like to just release, let go back into the black hole of infection and shining light in there to heal that. But it reminded me of something I had forgotten a long time ago. I went to Sedona by accident. I had a flight left on this old airline that isn't even, and I had a free flight, and I looked on the list of where it went, and someone said, "Oh, you should go to Sedona." And I'm like, "Okay, where's that?" Never been there. And I ended up, I'm not a hiker. I'm allergic to hiking, but I did some walking, and I walked up this path, and I was there, and oh, wait. I hired a shaman who did the whole sage thing, and she connected with me energetically, and she said, "I see Mother Nature. I see Mother Nature. I see Mother Nature." And I was like, okay, whatever. I am a reluctant woo-woo, by the way. Karen knows this about me. To have my soul portrait done, y'all think I'm, yay. Actually, it's one of those, I have to work myself into. I am a reluctant woo-woo. I'm a healer that doesn't necessarily believe that I can heal. That's another story. And I went to I was at Cathedral Rock. She did the reading, and then I went for a walk, and I ended up on top of this rock structure, red rocks, and I meditated there. I came back down, and I said, "Where was I?" And they said, "You were on Pachamama." And I said, "What does that mean?" And they showed me the rock on the side, and you could see, and it looked like a mom with a baby carried on her back. And I said, "Well, what does Pachamama mean?" And they said, Mother Nature. And I was like, oh my God, this is too weird. I am totally, this is like too woo-woo. This is too weird. Well, just now, I looked at that. It looks like Mother Nature. And again, those feelings of who do you think you are? You're not that big, and you shouldn't play so big. You shouldn't, like, I am so tired of fighting. Oh, I'm just grateful.
You get
It's
to
time,
reclaim. Yes, ma'am. You bet. You are reclaiming all of the truth of yourself. For thousands of years, we've been programmed to not be big. It was blasphemous. It was not okay. And when I got to go to Rome to see it through the eyes of the goddess pre-patriarchy, I was with two 70-year-old artists, scholars in 2006, and realized that the goddess, which was blasphemous for me to say growing up with the religion that I grew up in, it was so foreign. And the goddess's pleasure, the goddess's power, the divine feminine is being returned to us, and we are reclaiming it. These things are coming up for all of us, male, female, to reclaim within ourselves the beauty, the grace, the love, Mother Nature, the power of cycles, the power of love, the power of joy and compassion, kindness, to come back into balance so the divine masculine can be really honored and not out of sorts either. That together we find we're huge and we're beautiful and we're capable and we're amazing. And all these old things, imprints, as I like to call them, where we've been pushed down or culturally for thousands of years we've been being conquered. So the wars on this planet, all these things that have created harm, we're healing those in our own beings, all of us who are doing this kind of work, and it's making the way for everybody else to have kindness and compassion and to restore that within our being, that we are the creators and we need to choose how we want to create.
Yes.
If we can remember the heart that we have, the beauty that we have, then we can create with that love. But if we're stuck in anger and division, then it's not going to be so good. But you, my dear, for this time we've had together, are a beautiful, healing, loving presence of light who said you'd come to this planet when it was not so great on this world. There's so much going on, and that you would be a light, and that is your true nature, and that is the gift that you have for yourself. And that whatever that human suit is that you're wearing is just such a beautiful expression of that love, as you love that animal body that you're in. I'm on the same boat, sweetheart. And it's like, it's perfect whether we got an extra 5 or 10 pounds or whatever the heck it is. It doesn't really matter, because we're clearing out those old imprints where it was never enough. And you are so much. You are such a light. You're such a beauty. Thank you so much for being you, and thank you for allowing me to. You're colorful. Look how much color came in. I don't even think this represents what I can see here through this portal but it's awesome.
We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Tell me what the colors mean.
So your basic colors that started out were violet purples into these pinkish magentas, which I felt like were your transcendent energies of your higher ability to transmute energy through love and to be that energy, to be that essence. You had a triangle show up here that is point down and with flames coming out at your third eye. So that to me is a symbol of you're a vessel. You have this ability to be the vessel of light that you bring through how you see from your higher self into this world, that you're completely connected with this energy above. These yellow greens came in, which are symbolic to me of the healing energy that you emit as you are true to yourself, as you live in that light of who you are. It's a healing presence. It vibrates out into the world in big ways. It ripples waves of energy. And as people are ready to catch that energy, they can, but they don't take it from you. It ignites others' light. It is, you are a generator and an igniter, as you are in the light and the truth of who you are. That you have these orange and pinks that came in here that to me are light, passion. It's that golden octave of wisdom, the sunshine, the Christ, the Buddha, all these higher octaves of light blending in with these pinks around your heart space and wanting to come through as flames with this big spiral in there. The spirals to me are about creative energy, creative life force. It comes from your heart space, from your soul space, and it's exuberant. You are the sunshine girl. You've got these blues, turquoise blues in here with these white symbolic, kind of like little weird drawings in here, which I call light language. They're an energetic language that's a living language. I see it flows, and it's to acknowledge you as one who has great communicative ability to express yourself, all your creativity. And these blues into turquoise at your throat are also to me the ability to be really good at expressing truth, expressing energy, your heart, your throat chakra being full. And it's not just about this chakra. These are like, imagine them multidimensional and not just in this dimension around your auric field. You got all kinds of rainbow colors in your face, the way it wanted to express. It was, you've got greens, you've got oranges and yellows, you've got pinks in there with these, I don't know if you can see them very well. There's these little 3 lines, wavy lines coming out of your eyes. And they, to me, are your ability to perceive as well as to, I know I got to go, as to.
No, we're good. I'm gonna let this go long in the stream, but I just told my sound engineer we're gonna sign off of KCAA. Thanks for tuning in. I know that you're going to love rewatching this. Go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to continue on because this is invaluable. But those in the stream, just stay tuned and now go and have the best day ever. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay here. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. So I just signed up there, but we're going to continue with the stream. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So you're very intuitive. You're very easily tap in for your inner hearing, your inner sight. I always feel like that's part of how this energy is saying. There's some little lines coming out of your mouth here too, which is also about you expressing truth, being able to really know that what comes out of you is truth, is love. It is connected to your heart space. Let's see. Oh, in these rays of light that are coming off of you, in between there's gold. Again, gold light language symbols that are coming in that are also not about just other people and how you express. This is about, in this painting, holding a space of you remembering all of who you are, of really activating you in this human dimension to this greatness of who you are as soul, as light, as divine and beauty. So when you get this, if you'll gaze at it, hang out with it and journal with it, do your reflective times with it, it's going to be a living generator of light, constantly reminding you of you are who you are and what you've been tapping into today. So a healing force also for you to help you walk through human life and to come back to, I am who I am. I am the divine, as opposed to just being human, going through a crazy human experience. And you know that you're an amazing soul. But yeah, we've got that human element that we get to constantly work on, giving love and kindness.
Wow. I gave her this last time, but obviously for personal reasons, I'm going to give her Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award again. Katherine Skaggs, thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful soul portrait. Honestly, I feel the love. It's a great reminder of who I really am, and I will treasure that. As I said to y'all, this is a great gift idea. That's not why she's here, but it just came to me while we were doing. Wouldn't it be great if instead of buying something like a new outfit or a new whatever it is for your house, to have something that reflects the truth of who you are? And she truly, and if you're not going to do that with her, get her book. She's got a card deck too now that is available. Just go to www.katherineskaggs.com or Satyama, her publisher. Karen Stuth is in the chat, and we've just had such a great time. Thank you for joining me. The Cashew Gallery has been so wonderfully supportive, and thank you for the compliments. Yes, it is absolutely gorgeous. I receive.
Awesome.
I receive. I just am just really, 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 really grateful, and I love it. Hashtag I love my life. Thank you so much, Katherine. Any last words?
Just thank you. It's always, I get so much love and healing by being with each of you. And so it's delight to be with you and to love you and to be present to your beauty, and in deep gratitude for being you. Thank you, Marissa.
Shit. I receive. That's it for today. I'm speechless, which is very rare. Thank you so much for joining in. Tomorrow is Wednesday's Doctors in the House. Dr. Tiffany Tate, MD, Dr. Marissa, PhD, which just stands for higher and deeper. Join us again tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. You know, when you were talking, Katherine, about all of the ways in which my voice and my way with words are what I'm supposed to do, there's a coffee table book called On Your Birthday. And every single, I'm sure you've seen it. Guess what day I was born on?
I don't know.
The day of the velvet voice.
Boy, of course you were. Cool.
I mean, what are the chances of that? Because if you had told me I was going to do radio, I would have told you, you're crazy, you know. And I remember when that call came in at 4:30 in the morning and the voice said radio. I'm like, what? Radio? I'm doing TV. I like the camera. But 1,060 some and 602 consecutive weeks later, we're still here. Thanks so much for joining us. As usual, it's all about balance. Ready for the peace sign? It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through, inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.